Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Chaos Child, picking up where we left off in Cardusus' route. Shocker. Cause, you know, that's where we were last time, and we always pick back up where we left off, and like, I don't know why I always say that, but I do, and it feels weird every time I do it, because it's like, duh. But Artemura asked Cardusu about Senri, and obviously Cardusu is hiding some shit, because, you know, that's why she came back to ask, and that's why she was being quiet after Kawahara was there. You kind of knew. But we're clearly an idiot, because she's like, he's gonna walk us home, and we're like, what? Like, duh. Obviously, she got some insight about stuff, and she wants to tell you secretly. Come on, bro. Learn to read the room. Anyway, so that's what we're doing. We're walking, Kazuki and Artemura home to learn about this shit. So hopefully stuff's gonna start happening, because most of the last episode was, and then nothing happened. And then nothing happened some more. And then a few days later, shockingly nothing happened. Anyway. I ended up walking them home despite my protests. Why did I have to do this? I wasn't even sure what they'd come over for anyway. Hi, you were just being so good. We were telling you were being such a good birdie, and now you're being a dick. Stop. Okay, well, I mean, you only screamed for a second, so I guess you're not really being a dick, but don't start that. And on top of all that, Artemura had fallen strangely silent. Kazuki was always quiet, but experience had taught me that whenever Artemura wasn't talking, it meant trouble. Of course, it usually meant trouble when she was talking, too. We walked along in silence before Artemura finally opened her mouth. Cardusu is lying. What? And she's hiding something about Senri Mina Misawa. My heart thudded loudly. How can you tell? How can I tell? You know about my power, right? That's true, but... She was lying? Nono was lying? But the weird thing is Cardusu knows that Artemura would be able to tell. To me? I was worried about Senri Mina Misawa as well, but between the two, that was the bigger shock. Are you, sure? We knew she was hiding stuff, and she already told us. Like in the beginning, I need to tell you stuff, but I'm not ready to tell stuff. But like, she could have just said, yeah, it was like this, but I mean, there are some other stuff, but I'm just not ready to talk about it, you know what I mean? Or just say she doesn't want to talk about it. Want me to show you my power again? I could see her dye sword floating out of the corner of my eye. No, that's fine. Nono was hiding something. But why? But I mean, it is kind of funny. We knew, because we had that flashback earlier in her route where it was like at some point I'm going to want to tell you everything, but I'm not ready to do it. But will you listen to me when I'm ready? And we're like, yeah. So we know that she has something else that she hasn't told us or isn't ready to tell us, but it's also very weird because she's like, we're not going to lie. We're always going to tell everybody the truth, right, Takuru? Everyone's going to tell the truth, like, except for me, though. That doesn't apply to me. You know what I mean? And then I guarantee we're going to go back and be like, what about that? She's like, it doesn't count. I mean, I just can't. But like, you know, if it were us, it'd be a big fucking deal. You promised. So did you, bitch. Just saying. I mean, of course she's going to tell us eventually, but we had to drag it out through the whole thing. Otherwise, we'd have had a 2-minute route, so. I actually figured it out yesterday. You know, when she was talking to Kawahara about her. Cardusu said that Senri Mina Misawa was dead, but... Was that a lie? Then is Senri Mina Misawa alive? At least, that's what Cardusu thinks. She was alive. Senri Mina Misawa was alive. I mean, it makes sense. She's in the intro segment. I'm just saying. But why would Nono have to hide that? And she said she didn't really know much about her. That was a lie, too. What Artemura was saying was probably true. Nono knew Senri Mina Misawa very well, and she believed that she was alive. Why did she think so? There were 2 possibilities. One was that she knew for a fact that Mina Misawa was actually alive. The other was that she wanted to believe. If she consistently said she thought Senri was dead, then... Well, at this point, we know Sarika Ono is behind the murder, so maybe it doesn't matter, but it was bothering me. Anyway, Miyashiro, we can go the rest of the way on our own. Miyashiro? Ow, Kazuki slapped me. Ow! What's wrong, Kazuki? Why'd you just scratch me like that? That hurt. I've been talking and you've been spacing out. That's why, right? My name is Spacey. Oh, not in this game, never mind. Oh, I see. Should I maybe not have said anything? Oh, no, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Really? I hope so. I said goodbye to the two of them and headed back to the apartment. The whole way back, I couldn't stop thinking about the fact that Nono might be lying to me. Why? For what purposes? The same questions kept spinning about in my mind. Maybe she's trying to protect her?
No secrets between family members. Keep this promise no matter what so that we don't get torn apart again.
You're tearing us apart! You're tearing me apart, Lisa! Nono was the one who'd said that. I'm sorry. You're tearing me apart, Cardusus! No secrets. No lies. That was the one promise that kept us together. But we should just sit down at the table and look at her. What's the one thing that keeps us together as a family, Cardusus? What's our one rule?
No secrets and no lies.
Uh-huh. It's one fucking rule, Cardusus. All I'm saying. Just stare at her. Till she fucking cracks.
Oh, welcome back to Kuru.
When I got back, Nono was the same as ever. But I'm not.
Did they get home okay?
Yeah, I only saw them part of the way, though. There was no sign of the awkwardness that had been there when she was talking to Arimura. But... about what we were talking about before.
Before?
About Senri Mina Misawa.
I'm sorry, can we not talk about that?
Why?
Because it really hurts to remember a dead friend. Dinner will be done soon. Can you clear off the table?
Fine. It was obvious that Nono was avoiding talking about Senri Mina Misawa. Maybe it didn't matter at this point. But still, something was bothering me, like a thorn pricking at my heart. Senri Mina Misawa. Maybe I needed to learn more about her. It was one thing to decide to learn more about Senri Mina Misawa, but the question was how to go about it. I asked Kunosato and Shinjo, but they didn't have much to tell me. They knew nothing beyond what we'd found in the basement of A.H. Tokyo General, which meant that I had to ask someone who did know. To be honest, I wasn't happy with the idea, but I didn't have much choice. If I wanted to talk to him, this was the best place to catch him. Nono would ask questions if I left the house in my school uniform, so I went without it. That meant I stood out like a sore thumb. I recognized some of the students passing by, but they didn't pay any attention to me. They just chatted with their friends as they walked by. I waited for about 30 minutes. Finally, he appeared from the other side of the school gate. Miyashiro? Kawahara frowned when he saw me. I knew he didn't like me, but he also probably felt awkward after what had happened yesterday. I wanted to talk to you. Is that okay? What happened yesterday? It wasn't yesterday, though. He came over. He had his little freak out. He left. The next day, Arimura came back over, had that conversation. We walked her home, and then we had dinner. So this has to be the following day. This can't be that same night after we walked them home, because we would have gotten home. Yeah, we walked them home. They would have already left school at that point, so he wouldn't still be here. Unless he was like unless it was a club thing. I guess that's true. If he was at a club, but then we had dinner and then we went, I guess. So he's like, oh, it's like 7 o'clock at night now. Like, fuck. Okay. So maybe, but it just seems like it was more. But that's the weird thing with games. They're always like, the other day, that was 6 years ago. Remember earlier when I said this thing? That was literally 4 seconds ago. Or they'll say, the other day when we were talking about this, you mean this morning? Or just a little while ago. 6 years ago? Time is so fucked up in games. I'm just saying. It's my one thing that drives me bonkers. One of the things that drives me bonkers. Because it's always like, earlier, i.e. 3 weeks ago, or the other day, i.e. literally the last sentence you just said. Like, fucking A, get your time right. It's just weird. It just bothers me. Oh, it's weird. Anyway. I wanted to talk to you. Is that okay? Did you come to declare war on me? Huh? What? You didn't come to tell me to keep my hands off Cardusus? If you did, I was prepared to respect you a little. Oh, Konohara seemed to misunderstand how things stood between me and Nono. I'd be like, yeah, I'm not into her like that. She's my sister, dude. Stop. Why is everyone getting creepy? So? Huh? You wanted to talk, right? So talk. Konohara didn't even bother to hide his irritation with me. People were staring at us as they walked by. Can we maybe talk somewhere else? Konohara sighed and started to walk. I followed him. He walks away. You're like, am I supposed to follow you? Or anyway. This place is good enough, right? He was standing on the side of a road without even a bench. Felt like his way of saying that he didn't want to talk for long. Out with it. Just so we're clear, I don't even want to see your face. I could tell from his tone that his hatred toward me was building. Well, here's the thing. If you're in love with Nono and she was even in love with you, you'd have to deal with me for the rest of eternity because I'm basically your fucking brother, so good luck. I'm gonna be in the wedding party, thanks. But I felt the same way. I just wanted to ask him my questions and get the hell out of here. You were friends with Senri Mina Misawa, right? Mina Misawa? Why are you asking about her all of a sudden? Well, there was something I was curious about. Not really. Caruso and Mina Misawa were friends. I never thought of her as a friend. She was just in my way. I could tell that from the way he'd acted the other day. What was Mina Misawa like? Just ask Caruso if you want to know. She was a lot closer to her than I was. Caruso says she doesn't really remember. She doesn't remember? That's impossible. Even I remember, and Cardusus spent a hell of a lot more time with her than I did. For example? Konohara glared at me, but then he sighed and started to talk. I'm just gonna follow you home if you don't tell me. Ever since I first met her, Mina Misawa was always creepy. She was always pale and gloomy, and she mumbled so much you could barely hear what she said. Her only role in life was to make Cardusus look better by comparison. Kind of like you, maybe. Wow. You just cannot... You're never gonna get... You know, in the main route, you kind of had like a redemption moment where you weren't being a dick, and it was like, okay, maybe you're not so bad. And now you're back to being like, my God, you're like the worst. You might be the worst. Our father literally adopted us to purposely kill us down the road and was like, whatever, and use us and whatever, but you are actually almost worse than that. Like, shit. Well, Kui was gonna, like, try to take over the world and, like, murder us, and you might still be worse than it. I don't... Look. Yeah, there's a special place in, like, hell reserved for people like you. Just being a douche for no reason. It's because you're jealous of me, I know. It's because I've got glasses, and everybody knows when a guy wears glasses, it's so much hotter than the douche canoe who doesn't. I'm just saying. If you're gonna be a dick, at least have glasses. Because then when you're an asshole, everyone's like, I mean, he's an asshole, but he's got glasses on. It's cool. You got no excuse, buddy. Get fake ones. He laughed. He wasn't even trying to hide his disgust with me anymore. But I didn't care. So, what about our family? Huh? Oh, I think her parents were caught up in some weird cult. Cult? I don't remember the name, but every Sunday she had to go to some facility. Oh, he doesn't know about... Yeah, okay. I forget where it was. I think it was under some big hospital, she said. A.H. Tokyo General Hospital? That's the place. What, you knew about it? No, not really. So Senri Mina Misawa had been going there after all. But wait, did that place belong to some cult back then? It's the committee. Oh, come to think of it. He must have started to remember as he talked, because he was speaking faster and more clearly. She always wore long sleeves to hide it, but I caught a glimpse of her arms in gym class one day, and they were covered with needle marks. Then she started skipping school. Thinking back, there was probably something shady going on. He looks kind of happy about it. Now he doesn't, but before he did. So my parents told me not to have anything to do with her. She was always hanging out with Cardusus all the time, so... Kawaru's tone became sharper and angrier as he remembered the past. As I listened to him, of course, I was remembering the girl named Senri, Mina Misawa. Mina Misawa. I was sure her parents had taken her to that research lab. Bird, your toenails are way too sharp. They're digging into my neck. You're super sharp. They hurt.
They hurt, but I love you. But your toenails hurt and
Ow!
She's a nasty bird. Too bad at me. That's not nice. You're a jerk.
Oh, you give kisses now? I love you, but you're a jerk. Where's your bird friend? He's eating. That's why he's quiet. She was undergoing experiments there every week. The goal, of course, was to waken her gigalomaniac powers. I didn't know if her parents had agreed to the experiments. But it was easy to imagine that she hadn't wanted to do them herself. Oh my god, Bird.
I know you're trying to snuggle with my neck, but your toenails are digging into my neck skin and it hurts. They're too sharp.
And there was one more thing I could tell from this conversation. That was... Hey, did Cardusus know about this? Of course she did. Like I said, she was a lot closer to Mina Misawa than I was. Mina Misawa would always talk to her about her problems, and she knew a lot more about her parents than I did. What I told you was something I actually heard from her. I see. Is that all you wanted to talk about? Yeah, thanks. What the hell? Why do I have to... Peace out, we walked away. I bowed to Kawahara and turned to go. Hey, Miyashiro! I heard his voice behind me. Tell Cardusus to start coming to school, and... if anything happens to her, I'll make you pay for it. We just look at me, just roll our eyes and turn around. Once he was done talking, he walked off. But to be honest, I didn't care. What was important was that...
I'm sorry. I was friends with Senri, but I don't really know a lot about her family. Can we stop talking about this?
She's lying to you, but she told Kawahara everything. I mean, that was before, like, the earthquake and shit happened, but Nono was lying to me after all. Nono was hiding something. Something involving Senri, Mina Misawa. And the thing is, she could just be like, yeah, no, I did meet her friend, but I just don't really... You could just say you knew her friend. I just don't really want to talk about it. You could just say you don't want to talk about it, but lying and pretending you don't know... You know what I mean? Just say you don't want to talk about it. Be like, yeah, no, I met her family and said, look, I don't feel comfortable talking about it. Even after she'd promised that she wouldn't keep any secrets. Which meant that was a lie, too. Way to tear our family apart. I had dinner and took a bath. Yuto and Yuki had already gone to sleep. Nono had her textbook out on the table. Even when she wasn't going to school, she was still keeping up with her studies. She'd asked her friends about what subjects they were covering and kept up with them at home. As student council president, she was trying to set an example. I got my Pokecom online, but nothing I was seeing was going into my head. I was trying to figure out how to bring things up with Nono.
Oh, come on. What is it?
What's what?
You've been waiting to say something for a while now, haven't you?
How could you tell?
I can tell. I know all about you, Takeru.
Was that because we were family? But then why... Can you come outside for a second? I went outside with Nono. Of course, we couldn't go too far with the little ones to think about, so we only took a few steps from the apartment. Nono followed after me, confused. She looked just a bit nervous, probably because she wasn't sure why I'd asked her to come out here with me. Punches her. I turned around to face Nono. If you lie to me one more time... Heh. Huh?
What's all this about? Are you going to tell me you're in love with me?
No, I don't even trust you anymore. Huh? What are you talking about?
I mean, you're bringing me out here at night like this. It kind of feels like it, doesn't it?
Wishful thinking, bitch. You lied to me. It was true that maybe you could interpret the situation that way. Maybe.
Oh, come on, I'm joking. You don't have to panic like that. Well, even if it wasn't a joke, I wouldn't mind.
Don't tease me like that. I do think of her that way sometimes, which is creepy and weird. I took a deep breath to help me focus as I got ready to change the subject. Also, I think you're you're mixing the wrong colors in the laundry here. Like,
oh my god, he's like my little brother. He's like my brother. We're family. We're family. We're family. Oh my god, are you gonna tell me you're in love with me?
what kind of porno do you think we're in? This is like some kind of, like, weird, like, okay. I'm just saying, what kind of fetish flick are you watching, girl? You're like,
Oh my god, I love it. Oh, I'm stuck in the dryer, step sibling. Like,
we're just actually adopted son. But, like, whatever, you know what I'm saying. Like, girl, stop mixing the fucking signals over here.
Takuru?
A look of tension appeared on her face when she saw how I was acting. Listen, I want you to tell me honestly.
Okay.
Are you hiding something from me? In the end, all I could do was ask her straight.
Huh?
No, are you hiding something? What? No. I mean, let me put this another way. I know you're fucking lying and hiding something, so maybe just admit that you are. Are you sure you're not lying to me about something?
Where is this coming from? Why would you say something like that?
Nono smiled, but I could tell. She was forcing herself to smile. You said no secrets between family members, didn't you? You're not breaking that promise, are you? This is basically a saying, I know you fucking are. This is where you get to come clean and I won't be pissed. No. This is where we should have been Cardusus. Trust is breaking, girl. Maybe she had her reasons. But even so, that's all she has to say is like, yes, I have been hiding something, but I'm not ready to talk about it. Okay. But don't pretend you're not telling us. You know what I mean? Or don't pretend you're not lying. I was tired of it all. I was tired of being betrayed. I was tired of having the people I cared about lie to me. There was a moment's silence. And that's the thing, she should know, because she lied to you about your parents being murdered, and then you pieced out of the hat. Like, she knows this is a huge pet peeve of ours. It was Nono who broke it. Me. Her voice was so tiny I could barely hear it.
Please, believe me.
Nono?
I know that's not an answer, but for now, please.
In the darkness, I couldn't see the look on her face, but her voice was full of sorrow and pain. Unless I trusted Nono, we could never truly be a family. Nono had said she wouldn't hide anything else. She'd said she wouldn't lie anymore. I was tired of being lied to. Like when I'd found out about my parents' death, I didn't ever want to go through what I'd experienced when I found out Serica was behind the killings again. So all I could do now was... All right, Nono, I believe...
You're always such a softy, Taku.
You know, it's Cardusus. I mean, it's Cardusus. It's Serica. A bitter voice echoed in the darkness. The clouds split and the moon shone down to reveal the person in the darkness. She's the only one that calls us Taco too. Her dye sword shone in the moonlight and a broken smile was plastered on her lips. Oh no way. A cold chill of terror ran down my spine and I could feel myself start to sweat. I wonder if maybe we don't find out what happens to Senri Mina Misawa because she's the true ending type of a thing, and that's why Cardusus is kind of like recommended. The recommended order is like hers last. I mean, I don't necessarily know in the guides that was the recommended order, but you know what I mean? It seems like this has a little bit more plot to it because it deals with Senri Mina Misawa. And she definitely is in the intro segment in the, like, you know. So I'm just saying, like, seems like there's more going on with her. A cold chill of terror ran down my spine, and I could feel myself start to sweat. I think I just read that, but I'd let my guard down. I thought that if I was lucky, I might never see her again. And I'd started to think that maybe I would be that lucky. I never thought she'd just show up out of nowhere like this. I mean, I kind of did. Sounds like you're having a good time, Nono Kurusu.
Sarika, what are you doing here?
You can't tell?
How am I supposed to know what someone like you thinks?
Someone like me? You're talking as if you actually care about Takuro Miyashiro. I don't like that.
I'm not like you. I wouldn't do something to make Takuro sad just because I thought he wanted it.
I can almost see the invisible flames building up between them. I mean, ladies, if you're gonna have a cat fight, I guess, but... Well, it doesn't matter. If you want answers, I'll give them to you. I'm here to give you back what you gave me. Sarika laughed in twisted glee. That wasn't the Sarika I knew. The naive, ditzy girl that was always by my side was gone now.
What I gave you? I don't know what you're talking about, but there's no need for that. You can just go home.
That's awfully nice of you, but I'm afraid that's not possible. Whenever someone does something to me, I like to do it back. Does something to her. Watch out, Nono. Onoe's after revenge.
Revenge? I see. So you're here because you want revenge for my taking Takuro, but...
Nono pulled her dai sword from the void and readied it in front of Sarika's face. But Sarika didn't move a muscle. She just kept smiling. You're awfully bloodthirsty. Is that who you really are? Listen, revenge doesn't have to come by force.
What do you mean?
For example, what if Takuro Miyashiro found out the thing you're so desperately trying to hide? What she was trying to hide? Nono was hiding something from me. Oh, Nono was hiding something from me? I mean, didn't we just have this conversation? Are we stupid? Are you lying to me? Are you hiding something from me? Please believe me. All right, I'll believe. Like, you know that she is. Why is this a shock to you? You know that she's hiding something. You're like, I'll believe in you, but I know that you're lying to me. But now you're like, what? We literally, that's why we're here. This is the dumbest line ever. Oh my God. But she just told me to believe her. Wow, you really are a naive moron. You're making fun of Sarika? Good Lord, boy. And you knew. Again, shit like this that angers me sometimes, though. She told us there's some stuff that I need to tell you, but I'm not ready to tell you. But when I'm ready to tell you, will you listen to me? A long time ago. Now, I get that maybe we forgot that. But we know she's fucking lying. Arimura said she's lying. She specifically was like, I don't know Senri's parents. And then fucking Kawahara's like, no, she fucking knew everybody. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's the one who told me all this shit. And we know. We're like, are you lying to me? What? No, believe me. Okay. What? She's lying to me? She just said... You're not... You can't... You tout yourself as being so fucking smart and you did not realize that, like... It's one thing for her to be like, please just believe me and be like, okay... I have faith that you'll tell me, like, knowing, I know she's lying about something, but she obviously doesn't want to talk about it. Maybe it's none of my business, and I'm just gonna pretend I don't know about it to make myself feel better. Fine. But now you're acting shocked when Sarika's like, she's hiding something, and you're like, what? This is like catching your wife making out with some dude, and then you're like, I didn't see it, and then someone's like, your wife is just making out, and you're like, what? Like, you fucking saw it with your own eyes, asshole. Come on. We're not this stupid. Stop it. You know what I mean? It's more like she is hiding something from me. She just told me to believe her and I wanted to, but I knew she was hiding something. You know what I mean? Where you're like, all right, fine, I'll believe. I knew you were lying. You don't act shocked like this is brand new information. What? The sky is purple? What? That's brand new information. The sky is blue? No way. Go fucking figure. Like, dumbass.
Taku doesn't know yet, so I guess I have to tell him. Oh.
Listen, Taku. That girl, Nono Kurusu, is... Oh my God, is she Senri Mina Misawa?
Stop it!
No, but Senri had... Well, Senri did have blue eyes, but not blonde hair. But her eyes are more like purpley blue. Sorry, my phone's ringing. I have to turn it off. Okay. Nono's dai sword flashed down at Sarika's head.
Did you like that? You like the music? Yeah? Yeah, you do? You're being good. You're so happy. Listen to you. Such a chirpy, happy bird, huh? No, don't scream then.
There was a shower of pale sparks.
Look, Taku, this is who she really is.
And then she's gonna kill Sarah and be like, I had to. And you're gonna be like, are you lying to me? No! Nono flipped her wrist around, and this time the silver light flashed upward. There was a roar of spiraling wind. Ow, bird, God. Even I could tell that Nono's stance was all wrong.
I love you, but your toenails are too sharp for my neck.
Sarika was easily deflecting her attacks and grinning all the while.
It's because I don't have my sweater on, because it's too warm over here. So I didn't put my sweater on, but usually when my sweater's on, I don't feel your toenails. No, don't chew in the microphone. People might want to say hello to you and hear you chirping, but nobody wants to hear you chewing on the microphone. Oh, you nasty asshole. You stop.
Now you're both being rowdy for some reason.
Hi, what are you doing? You talking? Your bird friend's screaming. He's drowning you out, but you're talking into the microphone.
I love you. Sarika was easily deflecting her attacks. Oh my God, fucking A. I was gonna say it's the same fucking number, I'm sure, but Sarika was easily deflecting her attacks and grinning all the while. Good Lord.
Hey, Taku, you still don't know who she really is.
Is she Senri? Who she really is?
Please stop it.
But like, Kawahara saw us both together. Did Cardusus really die? And then she's really Senri Mina Misawa?
I guess I'll have to tell you then. The truth about Nono Cardusus. Or more precisely... Stop it! The truth about Senri Mina Misawa.
The end. Senri Mina Misawa and Nono Cardusus were friends. Nono was bright and cheerful, and everyone loved and admired her. Senri looked up to her, too. Nono died. And Senri's the one that's alive. Interesting. Senri, however, was well aware that she was gloomy, that she mumbled, and that no one liked her. So when Nono first spoke to her, she was more confused than happy. She even wondered if Nono was trying to show off what a good girl she was by hanging out with a failure like her. In fact, that's how everyone else had seen it. But as she got to know Nono, Senri stopped doubting. The two of them just seemed to get along somehow. Senri was quiet, and Nono liked to take care of people. The two of them became fast friends. That also explains why Cardusus has powers, because the real Cardusus probably didn't. And she's just pretending to be Cardusus and has lied about having powers and all of that because she's really Senri. Snap! Interesting, I like it. Senri Mina Misawa was a dear friend to Nono Cardusus. But for Senri, it wasn't that simple. From her perspective, Nono Cardusus had everything you could ever want. She was jealous. She knew it was wrong to think that way. She knew she should never think that way. But the more she thought about it, the stronger the feelings became. I'm so jealous of Nono. I wish I could be like Nono. If only I'd been born under a lucky star like her. Then I'm sure I also would have... I want to be Nono. That was Senri Mina Misawa's wish when the earthquake happened. That explains a lot. Damn! And then, 6 years ago, there had been a deafening roar, a violent shaking, and a blinding light. Nono Cardusus was right in front of Senri. Nono was caught by a collapsing building and on the verge of death. She could barely keep her eyes open. There was nothing Senri could do for her. And that's why when Nono's like, I saw her die, and everyone's like, no you didn't. That's a lie, because I didn't see Senri die. I saw Nono die, and I'm pretending to be Nono because I made that wish, and now... Nice! Good one, game. I approve. Applaud this. This is interesting.
I don't want to die. There's so much more I want to do.
We have to know the difference between Nono and Senri, and then, you know what I mean?
I don't want to die yet.
And then her voice faded away. Senri would never hear it again. Nono Cardusus would never move again. Nono. Senri cried. She knelt before Nono and cried and cried. Nono Cardusus was her only friend. She was sad to have lost her. And, Nono, you know, I always wanted to be you. Why did you die? Tell me, why? I should have died. I should have been the one to die. Even if I survive, I'm just gonna have to do more of those painful experiments. Even if I survive, nobody will be happy. I know it's not really the voice of an 11-year-old, but whatever. If only I died instead of you. And that's when a genius thought. And then there was a light. And you know what happened next? A magic sword appeared, and Senri Mina Misawa's body was enveloped in a strange light. And then, amazingly, she found herself transformed into Nono Cardusus, the girl she'd always wanted to be. Really? Because I actually think, like, from the little intro segment that Senri looked cuter. But, you know, whatever. She's more like she wants to be the person that Nono is, but... That was her, Senri Mina Misawa's awakening as a gigalomaniac. And then poor little Senri Mina Misawa buried the real Nono Cardusus and told everyone that Cardusus's body was her own. This isn't exactly Serika's voice, I don't know what's happening. And thus, she was reborn from an ugly duckling into a beautiful white swan and began a wonderful second life. And she lived happily ever after. Well, Taku, how did you like the tale of the two changelings, Nono Cardusus and Senri Mina Misawa? The Changelings, a story from medieval Japan. It describes the tale of a young boy and a girl who are raised as the opposite sex and the chaos that ensues. Sometimes it's also used as a name for other stories involving characters who switch sex or social position. Like the Prince and the Pauper. But they didn't change sex, they just changed positions. You know what I mean? My pulse began to quicken and I started to lose the ability to think clearly. I could feel my soul shifting within my body. The ground under me shook unsteadily. No, it wasn't just the ground. It was my whole world. Everything that made up the person named Takuro Miyashiro began to shake. My head hurt, and I couldn't understand what I was hearing. I mean, this is the biggest lie ever. You kind of understand it has nothing to do with you, but at the same time, still a huge lie. What did I just hear? Was Serika telling me that Nono was Senri Mina Misawa? Nono was a gigalomaniac. I knew that already. But her power was... No. Her gigalomaniac power is the same as Artemura's. She can tell when someone's lying. Right, Nono? She lied about that too. Answer me, Nono! Nono said nothing. She just looked very sad. Serika's lips curled up into a mocking grin. Well, you really are such a dummy, Taku. You're helpless without me. Kinda. What do you mean? Her power is the same as Hanai Arimura's. She can tell when someone's lying. For someone who spent half their life living a lie, she sure is a terrible liar. It's not a lie. You what? Are you gonna lie to Takuro Miyashiro again? No, I'm Nono Cardusus. Serika must have thought Nono's words were the funniest thing in the world, because her body was racked with laughter. She is really good at being an evil villain, can I just tell you? Like, I know we said this in the other, like, when we went down the common route, we're like, man, like, but she is really good at being an evil villain. Like, she's back here like, I've just ruined your life. Like, damn, girl. Her spiteful, like, telling us the truth. It's, like, better than kicking someone's ass. She's like, ha, live with it. Your truth has come out. Now deal with the aftermath. I mean, it's just, it's beautiful. Wow, I can't believe it. You're still capable of lying even now. Man, you're shameless. Oh, no, wait. Fine, I'll say it one more time. Listen to Takuro Miyashiro. That lying girl's power is duplication. Duplication? That's right. She's capable of imitating someone's appearance and voice down to the smallest details. That's her power. So she didn't just become... She, like... Oh, that's true, because your power is based... Right, duh. Your power is based on what you wished for. Like, Artemuro wished that people would tell her the truth. And so she got the power to be a human lie detector. And she wanted to be Nono, and so she can duplicate... Oh my god, cool. In other words... Wow, she really has been lying her whole life. So everything she told you was a bald-faced lie! You were tricked. She's been lying to you since the moment you first met. Finally, I felt a shock like being hit with a club run through my skull. No, I've been feeling that shock for a while now. But my mind was just so dulled that I couldn't even think. I mean, this is a brilliant twist. I love it. I love it. Bravo, game. It's kind of amazing, huh? I bet you never imagined she was so full of lies, huh? But now you know what a nasty bitch Nono Cardusus... No, Senri Mina Misawa really is. Instead of being sad when her friend died, she buried her friend under the earthquake memorial and told everyone that her dead friend was Senri Mina Misawa. And then she began a second life as the bright, cheerful girl who everyone loved. No. I mean, that's also, could you imagine? Now I just want to take a second, time out, back it up a little, beep, beep, let's back up a little bit, to when Kawahara was like, oh, I wanted Senri to just disappear, and Nono being like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to leave before I fucking kill you, because you basically just heard someone who was supposed to be your friend, you know, like, we were all friends, and he was like, nah, I wanted that bitch to disappear, I'm glad she died, can we date now? And you're like, fuck you. Like, fuck you. Amazing. Amazing. Wow. Wow. I kind of feel bad for her in that respect. I mean, look. I'm not angry at her for her lies and everything like that because, like, you know what I mean? Like, she didn't ask for these powers. She was a kid. You can see where her power came from and why it happened. You know what I mean? They actually do a really good job with, like, this is why it happened. This is how their powers came about. And, like, explaining, not like Artemuro just magically got the ability to be a human lie detector. It's all of the stuff of finding out about these lies, and her brother lied to her, and her parents lied to her, and just wanting to know the truth, even though she was a child. You know what I mean? Like, just, I want people to tell me the truth, and then this is the aftermath of what the fuck you wished for. You know what I mean? We created a monster. Like, literally, right in front of us. Hello, right now. Like, Senri was just like, I should be the one who dead, and you should be alive. No, I just wanted to be like you. And then all of a sudden, now she's like, oh no, I can be. Huh. You know, and maybe she did the wrong thing, but at the same time, she's like, my friend is dead. I can just pretend to be her. Then they won't use me for experiment. Like, wouldn't you do the same thing? It's not like she bunked her off, like, oh, I pushed her off her cliff and the ha-ha-ha. You know, Nono was dying. And Senri's option was, wait, I can be Nono now, and then I don't have to, and like, Nono should have been the one to live, so I'm gonna live and make her life great, even though she's not here, and then I won't have to be experimented on, so it's kind of a little bit of both, you know what I mean? Like, it's selfish, but noble, and like, of course she's gonna lie about it, and like, we can't be mad at her for it. Like, yes, we're gonna be mad, because you're like, you've been lying to me your whole fucking life, but you can kind of understand why, but it doesn't change the fact that our reaction to that is going to be like, you fucking liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire, holy shit. But it does explain a lot when she was like, I don't think Senri is really the pyrokinetic. I think that's physically impossible. I saw her die. And then they're like, no, she didn't. Yeah, no, she didn't. But like, and she's been lying since day one in the game. Just be like, no, you shouldn't do this. No, you shouldn't. Yeah, you know what, Senri? I'm sure she's fine. You know what? No, like, Girl. Interesting. Anyway. Really? It's amazing. A normal person would at least feel some guilt. I don't know how she was ever capable of being so happy all the time. Women are scary creatures, huh? Okay, I don't think you should be throwing rocks in your own glass house, bitch. I'm just saying. Like, she was just, like, lying, and she could just pretend. While she was lying, she was living a happy life. You were living a happy life while you were murdering people. I'm gonna say that One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. And that would be you. Like,
That's not true!
What's not true? Serica's cold voice shot through the night like a bullet. This is fucking amazing, though. I'm really happy. This is great.
You're a fraud, a liar, and a fake! That's who you really are, Senri Mina Misawa!
There was a mocking light in her eyes as she glared at Nono. /Senri. Without even thinking about it, I closed my eyes and put my hands to my temple. Black doubts rose up and began to take shape. I'd seen Senri Mina Misawa in my nightmares 1,000 times. I thought she hated me for not being able to help her. I thought she was the one behind the New Generation murders. And she was actually Nono?
That's not true! Astonishing. You're still saying that?
But it doesn't matter. Serica laughed a little and turned around to leave.
I thought I'd kill you, but I think I'll just leave you like this. Why?
Because it's more fun that way. She just came to stir this motherfucking pot and get the fuck out. Wow.
Go make your pathetic, miserable excuses to Takuru Miyashiro. Get on the ground and cry and beg for him to forgive you. Of course, I don't know if he actually will.
Sorry. She walked off into the darkness of the night, her laughter echoing down the street. I couldn't follow. I was helplessly caught in what she said, as if I'd fallen into a whirlpool.
Takuru.
I turned toward the sound of a hoarse voice. Nono was smiling at me weakly. Nono.
She really is crazy. She can't expect anyone to believe those lies, can she?
Lies.
That's right. Of course she was lying. She's telling obvious lies to make us suspicious of each other.
Yeah, but she didn't say anything to make you suspicious of me, though, did she? Just saying. Lies? Who was lying and who was telling the truth? I'm pretty sure Cardusu's lying. We know that for a fact that she's been lying. Like, she's been hiding shit. She admitted she was hiding shit in the very beginning. So I'm just saying I believe Serica here. And she has no reason to lie to say this. She could just kill Cardusus. So,
in the first place, it's impossible to just switch places with someone like that. She's crazy to ask you to believe her delusions.
Was it just a delusion? And that's the thing. If it was, she would have been like, what? You're fucking crazy. She wouldn't have been like, stop. No, don't. Oh my God. Ah, she's lying. Isn't that crazy? You know what I mean? She would have a different reaction.
Takuru.
Her voice was nervous. I feel like that's going to be the true ending, is we're going to find out who she really is. Then Senri's going to come out. You know what I mean? Like,
Takuru, you'll believe me, won't you?
No.
You'll believe me, won't you?
Nono was right. I couldn't completely trust Serica right now. There was a good chance she was trying to make us suspicious of each other. But was everything Serica said a lie? But
Takuru,
there was one thing I could say for sure. That was, is it okay to believe in you? I wanted to believe in Nono. Aw. Is it really okay to believe in you? She said we were a family. She said we wouldn't have any secrets, and I wanted to believe her. I didn't want to go through that anymore. I didn't want to be betrayed by the people I cared about anymore. This would be a great fucking ending to be like, I'm just going to pretend that what Serica said is just not true and just... Even though you know for a fucking fact it is. You're like, nope, it's true. And we're just going to be like, nope. And that's the ending, is we just stick with our delusion that and just pretend it's not true, and you're like, fuck. That would be a brilliant end to this route, I'm just saying.
Yeah?
Okay, I want to believe you, Nono. I was probably saying that to myself, not to her. Oh my god! Spammers, fuck off! God, what a bag of cunts! Stop calling me! The real Nono Kurusu was already dead, and another girl, Senri Mina Misawa, had taken her place. Sarika's words had come out of nowhere, and I couldn't believe them. Really? And I'd already said that I'd believe Nono when she said she was telling the truth. I wanted to believe. But...
Takuru, do you want seconds?
No, I'll pass.
You don't eat much at breakfast either. Are you not feeling well?
Or you didn't, sorry. No, I'm fine.
You see,
I said I wanted to believe, but it just wouldn't be that easy for any human being. The more you want to believe, the more you try not to think about something, the more the tiny thorn in your heart digs deeper into you. I knew that was just what Sarika wanted, but that didn't mean there was anything I could do about it.
Are you two fighting?
Huh? Oh.
Well, you've been acting kind of strange since yesterday. Are you guys fighting? No, that's not true. Right, Takuru?
Yeah, we're not fighting.
Big brother Takuru, you should apologize soon.
What? I said we're not fighting. Even if we were, how do you know it's my fault? She's the one that's lying about who she is. I mean, what?
Because whenever Nono is mad, it usually is. Don't worry, Yuto. Takuru didn't do anything wrong. Really? Really. Now come on, eat your carrots. I hate carrots.
Shut up, carrots are great.
If you talk like that, you won't grow up to be big and strong.
Nono was bothered by it too, and it showed up in the way she was acting. The doubts within me and Nono's unease had built up to the point where even Yamazoe could sense them. We'd fallen right into Sarika's trap. If there was any way to get out of this, it was... It wasn't that I doubted her. I was doing this because I believed her, because I wanted to believe. That's what I told myself over and over again as I went to the meeting spot. Sheesh. At some point I think I became your personal errand boy. Shinjo's words were sarcastic when he saw me. My jaw hurt so bad, holy crap. But it made sense. I'd been coming to him for everything lately, because he's like our dad now. Listen, cop daddy. I'm really not supposed to be showing these to people outside the police force. I'm sorry. Well, it's fine. It's too late for that now. Anyway, this is what you asked for. Shinjo took out a large envelope and put it on the table. I love Shinjo so much. I really do. He's such a good boy. Such a rough life dealing with all of our fucking shenanigans and us being all assholes, and he's just like... He just looks so tired all the time. May I look at it? And that's why I brought it here. Thank you. I could tell my hands were shaking as I reached for the envelope. If I wasn't suspicious, there was nothing to be afraid of. If I believed her, there was no reason to hesitate. But I still wasn't sure whether it was okay for me to look. Well, you're not gonna look? No. I opened the envelope and took out the documents inside. And that's the autopsy report for Senri Mina Misawa, who was believed to have died in the Shibuya earthquake. Shinjo whispered and looked around him as he spoke. A lot of the data from the earthquake period is pretty spotty, and it's not just for Senri Mina Misawa. We did DNA tests for any victims of the quake whose bodies were too badly damaged to be identified. Of course, Senri Mina Misawa's body was heavily damaged by the fire, so part of her remains were sent for DNA identification. And then that body is really... About that. You can see when you look at the file, but both her parents perished in the earthquake as well. So before they could match her body with the results of the DNA analysis, a close friend identified the body for us. A close friend? Nono Kurusu. Yeah. If they didn't do the DNA, and if they did the DNA analysis, they would see that Senri didn't match her parents. In other words, Nono had said that it was Senri Mina Misawa's body, and if they did the DNA swap like they test now, they would find, oh wait, Nono Kurusu's parents match Senri's DNA. Well, you know what I mean? But they're not going to bother doing that. You know what I mean? They have too much shit to do, too many dead bodies to do that. If someone tells you, nope, that's my friend Senri. Okay, fine, these are her parents, whatever. You know what I mean? You're not going to be like, well, let's cross-check. Nono said that this is Senri. Let's check Senri's DNA with Senri's parents and then make sure. You know what I mean? You're just like, okay, we got a positive identification. Like, whatever. We ain't got time for this shit. There's 7 bazillion people dead, so. But now I bet if you checked. That was the only reason she was believed to have died. Nono Cardusus' testimony was enough to ID the body as Senri Mina Misawa's, and it was returned to her family and buried. Got it so far? Yes? Okay, good. And the envelope under it. And that's the DNA analysis report. Begged a guy I know in forensics to take a look at it. Now I owe him a bowl of ramen. Oh, I can... Hey, I didn't mean it. I'm not so poor I need a kid to pay my bills. You're like, good, because I can't even afford ramen. Shinjo was laughing, but his salary probably wasn't that high. Look who's talking! We don't have a salary! With payday coming up, it was probably a pretty big blow to him. How much is ramen? Like, is this like a fucking, 6-course fucking meal at, the most fanciest place ever? What the fuck? So, back on topic, I matched the analysis with the information I had. And to get straight to the point, the body's DNA did match the DNA of Senri Mina Misawa's mother and father, which means the body didn't belong to Senri Mina Misawa. That's right. Slowly, I would have been like, did you cross-check the body with Cardusus' parents? Because I'm just thinking. Everything Shinjo said began to sink in. The body that Nono Cardusu had claimed was Senri Mina Misawa wasn't. But then why had Nono said that? Oh, stupid! I know we're trying to believe her, but hi, all the facts are slapping you in the face. Had she mistaken someone else for Senri Mina Misawa? But how is that possible when they were supposed to be best friends? He's literally trying to grasp at straws to make himself feel better here. He's like, she identified the wrong person? That's crazy. Hi. And so, now the question is who the body actually belonged to, but he motioned for me to flip the next page, and there were 348 unidentified bodies that were sent for DNA analysis. After going through them all, I found one whose DNA matches to the point I believe she's mother of the person we thought was Senri Mina Misawa. Her mother? In other words, it was the mother of the dead girl. Who is that? Shinjo took a sip of water and wet his throat. His next words were clear and unmistakable. Carusu's mom. Yukako Cardusu, the mother of Nono Cardusu, who was crushed to death during the Shibuya earthquake. Yukako. Everything went black. I thought again and again about what he was telling me. Exactly what Sarika told you and didn't want to believe, but the mother of the body they thought was Senri Mina Misawa was actually Nono Cardusu's mom. Which meant... I don't think we're going to finish I thought we were going to get the ending, and I thought it would have been so good to end and be like, we're just going to live in a delusion, and then, but... The body you thought was Senri Mina Misawa was actually Nono Cardusu. I didn't even recognize my voice as I spoke. Are you, sure? The accuracy of the data is beyond question. This is amazing. This is so good.
Instead of being sad when her friend died, she buried her friend under the earthquake memorial and told everyone that her dead friend was Senri Mina Misawa. And then she began a second life as the bright, cheerful girl who everyone loved.
Sarika's voice echoed in my head. And that was...
You'll believe me, won't you?
What? What the hell? She told me to believe her. Dude, come on! I mean, I know we're just in a state of denial. She told me to believe her and I can't believe her. What? But sometimes it's the way they phrase things where you're like, are you an idiot? I get it, though. It's really not that he's a moron. I was like, what? He was totally bamboozled. He's like, what? I knew the whole time she was lying and what Sarika said was true, but I wanted to believe it and now I have indisputable evidence and you know what I mean? You don't want to believe the shit that you know for a fact to be true. Like, you knew what Sarika was saying was true. You knew on some level, so now this is not really a shock, but it's a shock because you don't want to believe it. Why did you tell me to believe her? Hey, Miyashiro, you're looking pale. Are you okay? Yeah. Stop, bird. Anyway, about these results. About that... Can you let me handle this for a while? I thought you'd say that. I'm sorry. Well, it's alright. But I can't just ignore this. When the time comes, I'm going to have to take action. Right. Sheesh. Such a softie. You really are, that's why we love you. Miyashiro just pats him on the shoulder. Pat, pat. Yeah, you kinda are, that's why we all take advantage of you, but... Shinjo kept talking, and probably why you're gonna get fired at some point, and why you're never gonna get promoted, because you just let teenagers walk all over you. But, like, but we appreciate it, we love you. Like... Poor Shinjo. Shinjo kept talking after that, but I couldn't hear a single word he said. He's, like, the only character who's, like, literally perfect. Like, everybody else has, like, flaws, and you're like, you're an asshole, shut up, I still love you. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, everybody else, but, like, Shinjo, you're just like... Shinjo, you're just... I don't know. Okay, I guess, like, Yuto. Poor Yuto, too. You know what I mean? Like, that poor kid. He's just here to be beaten on by life, but... All I could sense was some dark things sinking into my stomach. We're gonna end it here! And we're gonna let that dark thing sink into your stomach. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's kind of interesting. We're gonna find out the truth and do all that. But I also kind of would have liked if the end had just been like, yeah, okay, we'll believe her, and it was just eating away at you, and, like, they just left it kind of, like, on a cliffhanger. Because then it would have been kind of interesting if then the true ending kind of thing that you go through is really you finding out, okay, Cardusus is Senri, Mina Misawa, blah, 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 all that shit, and then now she's real, and then, like, whatever. But, you know what I mean? And then that's when the truth, but this is now, we're gonna, like, there's more to it than that, but I would have liked that cliffhanger. It would have been kind of interesting. You would have been like, the fuck, that's like a half a route. What the fuck are you doing? You're just gonna leave it like that? Would have been perfect. Would have been like, I hate you because I love it. It's good. Like, you know. But I love the twist. I do. You know what I mean? You were like, wait, whoa, whoa, she's a gigalomaniac and we're not gonna find out about her powers? Like, what the hell? Like, but, you know, the same thing with Kazuki, and you're like, huh? You know. But, yeah, interesting. And the whole Senri thing. I mean, like, they did it really well. Bravo. Because, like, her knowing Senri, and you're like, oh, she's gonna be, like, wrapped into this whole fucking thing. And they're like, she's so important to... We're the main character! Stop trying to steal my thunder, Cardusus! But, like... Maybe she's secretly the main character, because, like, a lot of this goes back to her, right? And it's, like, her mystery. We're solving the mystery of Senri Mina Misawa. But it's, like, so interesting that, like, she's been that, like, you're like, I didn't see that one coming. Like, there's some shit. I was like, Sarika's a figment of my imagination. She's not real. And she was a figment of my imagination. And, I mean, we made her real, but she wasn't real at first. I mean, there's some things that kind of, like, you're like, wait. But, like, this, I never would have seen this coming. I would have been like, she's secretly Senri. Did I say Sarika was Senri at one point? I don't know. There's been a lot of theories, but that was never going to be one of them. Like, did not see that one. It was like a freight train that I just stepped in front of. Like, fuck, what? Awesome. I love it. But anyway, we'll continue. I don't know if we'll get her route, the ending in the next part or not. I feel like we're at that climax and, like, you need to wrap it up now, game, because we've had this thing and now we know the truth. And if you keep doing what you did in the earlier part where it's like, and then nothing happened, and then nothing happened, and then nothing happened some more, it's going to be really boring. You know what I mean? Like, now we're at that, like, okay, holy shit. Don't drag it out for, like, 3 more hours where I'm just sitting here like, the fuck is happening? You know what I mean? This is where the shit comes to a head, and then we have and then, like, the ending happens in the next, like, hour. You know what I mean? Like, don't drag it out is what I'm saying. Like, you're at that perfect place to just twist that knife in, so. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.